Well, first and foremost, happy Easter, everyone. So, kind of been reflecting on a couple of things and went and, talked to a couple of people about doors and the possibility of maybe doing installs, which I'm going to try to do some after I get this kind of cleaned up. But, it's like yesterday, I went and all I did was move this over here, and I had to hire someone. Had to pay $20 for someone to move these two things here and hold them while I put braces so I can paint the bottom. And there's a couple of small little tiny doors, and I went and measured today, and it's literally a tiny door, that I'm gonna do. But like today, earlier today, I came and all I did was move the stuff from here, put it over there. It's all little pieces, not even assembled, just individual pieces. Completely wore me out. I had to go home and rest. The neck and everything was hurting, but I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my life, because there's times when I feel good and it's like, and I'll do some work, and then as soon as I do some work, everything acts up and I'm in pain. And so, but I came up with yet another idea. The selling the door kits seem to be pretty good. In fact, this is all I have left out of all them ones that were all the spanned all the way across. This is all I have left right here. So, and I got people constantly asking to buy more doors, but to be fair, marketplace is marketplace. So I have this tunnel here with the doors back there, and what I'm going to do is once this is put back together, I'm going to paint it right now, and I think Tuesday the guy said he'd come back over and help, move these things. But so I have, like, these are all one type of door, and they're all the same hinge, same everything. These here are all one type of door. These are one type of door, and then behind all here is one type of door. But I'm going to make little piles like this. This is for, most people know what's going on, but just in case there's someone new watching this, let me turn on the lights here. So I have a little, oh, y'all can't even see it, but ta-da! I have a little multi-adapter switch, because every time I plugged in these things, they arced. So I bought this for, I think, like $1.99 at some store. Oh, it's almost about to come unplugged. So anyways, like this door, this door, this door, this door, all these, see how they have the same hinge location? Like this one don't, but these do. So I'm going to get all these in piles, just like these over here. It's like some of these have the same, and I'm just going to put them together as kits. So, anybody who wants a door can just grab whatever, or I can assemble it really, really quick, But that's kind of the new plan right now. I'm also going to be putting together some double doors and, trying to get some help here with that. But anyways, I kind of want to, once the doors are kind of set up, and I'm going to utilize a lot of this wall space to where, like if I have, just for instance, these doors here, I could build one or two and put them on front, and just keep everything right here. And that way I have all of it together, and I could take the jams and set them next to it and keep like little bundles of all the stuff. And kind of, I'm going to try cleaning this area up here. So, and I still got to paint doors. I still got to do all kinds of stuff. But, a lot of these jams here are for them doors. I kind of want to get them all bundled together so everything's where it's at. But all that to be said, I want to get back to buying and selling, and I want to get back to, doing what my next job is going to be. I bought a trunk full of Hot Wheel cars at a garage sale. So, but yeah, it's, it's like I had this moment of, it's like, okay, I feel a little bit good. I'm going to try to knock some stuff out. 2 hours in, it's like, okay, I got to go and rest or use them little stretching machines and all the pressure point things. And it's like, what the hell? But on a day of resurrection, of a day of, coming back, I feel motivated. I'm up here. I'm going to try to knock out one door tonight. It's about 8 o'clock at night, and I figure I should be able to do it in about 2 hours, and then, get home like in between 10 and midnight. So, and I might try moving a couple of small things. Like a lot of these doors don't have glass in it and they're light, and I might try to do that. But like I can't do anything until these are painted and Tuesday. So, I'm kind of stuck here because there's no way I can move these back. These are off the trailer, by the way. So, but I want to get the bottoms. I did one coat of paint and then I caulked it to where it's all solid, and I'm going to do 2 more coats of paint. And that way, when they go back on the trailer, that hopefully this doesn't rot out. Hopefully. So, but, yeah. So it's kind of like I had this real funky day today. Like my mind wants to do everything, but my body's like, you're hurt. You can't be doing this kind of stuff no more. But I went and measured a house this morning, and it's this really, 1950s roundhouse, and they got this wicked, like angled degree door, and I'm not 100% sure if I could actually duplicate it. I mean, I know I could, but it's, time and effort. I think it'd be better for everybody, financially, everything else, of just repairing what they have there, which I think, the repair is going to go pretty simple. There's a couple things that I'm going to prep up here, do some wedges and some angles. And then they have they have a 26-inch door that someone took and cut the width and just used a whole bunch of nails. Like they took the door and all they did was like cut it right here and then just nailed a piece of wood with a whole bunch of nails. And, if it's not ever worked right because it's not a real door. So I told them in a couple of weeks, once I get this situated, I'm going to go and, see about, like I have this door here with well, no, that's not going to work because it's too short. But, yeah, I got this is a 28-inch door, which I told them I might be able to use this, but I got to pull all the trim and see how much. And then I got a 24-inch door, which I know that'll fit, but then we got to worry about furniture coming in because right now they got a 26, which is dead in the middle. So, which is not a real door. They don't make 26-inch doors, at least not exterior. But, and I even told them, hey, the only other person in town is this one company. Call them, get some quotes with them, but I think I told them a pretty good price, in fact, this is one of them times that I know how good I am. And I would love to see someone else try to do it. Like, I just want to sit back and see how they do it because I know how I would do it. So it's kind of one of them things that, not to toot my own horn, but I've done so much crazy builds. I mean, I've done doors for $40,000. I even priced the door for $80,000, and the guy went with someone else. The other person completely screwed it up, and he called me saying, "Yo, can you still do this? Can you fix what he had?" I was like, "Hell no!" And now it's $100,000. And you may think, "What the hell kind of door is $100,000?" But when you make a one-off door for the beach that has to be hurricane rated and engineered and then approved with the engineering to withstand hurricane force winds, and custom build a one-of-one door, you're spending $15,000, $20,000 just in going back and forth and getting all the paperwork involved before you even start. Well, I say maybe $10,000, but now in today's market, even back in the day, it was a lot cheaper. But now you'd spend $15,000, $20,000 just to get the people to sign off on it. So, and I'm not saying all doors are that expensive, but when you have a multimillionaire that has the address of 2, You know, that's his address was 2. Um, but yeah, so multi-millionaire. He was a brain surgeon, and and everything else. Like a famous worldwide brain surgeon. I think, I know he got back from Africa and fixed some president in Africa, fixed his brain, and that's when I met him. But yeah, anyways, I've done some really crazy stuff, and that's the one I didn't do, but I priced it and I was ready to do it. But he went cheap, and that's what happens. And they went and built a door which looked nice, but I picked it up and the damn thing bent just by picking it up. And I was like, yeah, that's not engineered. Where's your paperwork? And then because he got in trouble with the city, now you got the whole city looking. So if I would have took the job, now I got all eyes on me, much less trying to do my job without all the eyes on me. So yeah, I had an extra 20 grand for him, asshole tax. But anyways, yeah. Going back to the original thing, it just, I always wonder. I go behind people. In fact, on the roundhouse I was just talking about, I went and measured one of the doors there years ago, and they didn't go with me. I mean, well, it was for Lowe's, not for me, but they went to Lowe's, and Lowe's probably had too high of a price. So whoever owned the home before them paid someone to do it, and it's not horrible, but it's definitely not my kind of job, So, but anyways, I'm going to get to start building, and I'm going to try to post some more stuff online, and been doing okay on the sales. It's really helped me out. In fact, let's see here. All these doors right here. So you got a door and a side light, a single door, a double door, I think another double door, a single door with the grids. And then behind that, I got 5 steel doors where I got to build and replace, to fill up the rack here. Because I'm running out of my steels. Which these things are selling like gangbusters. I'm happy with that. But, so I got all this here to build. And then, what else was there? Oh yeah, I got to build this door here. I got to put glass into it. That's all I got to do. And then, I think that's it. So... But yeah, all that's this week, plus, I'm going to try to get some people over here, and we're going to get all these doors that are multiplied, like I probably got 15, 20 of these doors that are all the same. And instead of having them all wide and eating up all that room, I kind of want to move them out over here and get one little pile, So, yeah, God almighty, I got so much stuff to sell. And I'm not complaining. I mean, this is my retirement. This is, if it's slow, it's slow. But there's not too many people in retirement. In fact, this is the price of doors. This one door here. And that's an old price. That's not even current. But there's not too many people in retirement or in partial retirement that makes the kind of money I make. And I'm not rich. And I'm not making a ton of money, but considering my bills are very small in the grand sense of the world, I don't have a big house payment. I don't have rent. I don't have new car payments. I keep my level of life really low. But I don't even know what the hell I've said in this video. So anyways, I'm going to get to work. I'm going to do some laundry, build a door, and maybe, just maybe, clean up a little bit. Oh, and I got to paint them before I leave. So on that note, as a final thought, happy Easter. Maybe late by the time you watch this video. And yeah, peace, love, money. I'm out.